Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Anna. I am a portrait photographer in the Chicagoland area, and today we are doing a fall photo shoot. This photo shoot was actually recorded a couple years back. I felt like it was more appropriate to post it around the time where the leaves are actually changing and give you guys a couple tips and tricks on taking photos in the fall. I wanted to use this log over here because I wanted to incorporate the nature since we were in a forest preserve, but when we initially looked at this log, there wasn't many spots for Mona to sit on to have it be super comfortable. So once we found a spot at the edge of the log, we were able to incorporate some of the backdrop as well as find some great poses for Mona to do. Once we figured out that there wasn't many leaves around Mona to take some pictures to actually show that it was in fall, we decided to start moving locations to make sure we could find something better. We decided to use this path on the forest bike trail because it would be a leading line in the image, as well as provide a stark contrast between the yellow and the red leaves as we were throwing them in the air. So we had to collect a couple, and it was very important to make sure that we found ones that were photogenic, so nothing that had any brown spots on it or something that would be hard for me to edit out in the photo. From there, we were just going to throw them up in the air and take some action shots. This is the photo that we're editing today. I really like the way that this photo came out. There's just a couple enhancements that I want to do to really elevate this photo. For starters, we're going to go on the contrast slider and bring it to the right. You're going to see that it really defines Mona's curls as well as the branches in the background. The photo straight out of camera actually came out pretty blue, and the leaves on the trees were still green. So what I'm going to do is bring the temperature to the right hand side. Not only is it going to warm up those leaves, but also warm up her skin tone. I don't want to bring it too drastically simply because I know that I'm going to do some color grading later. Saturation is also a good thing because you really want to make sure that those yellow leaves pop. This is going to be really fun. I personally like my style to be a little bit more natural when it comes to editing. You are more than welcome to bring the slider to the right hand side or to the left hand side. Yellow is opposite of blue, so what you're going to do is make sure that you want to stay in that range. And then with the highlights, you're also more than welcome to drastically change it to the right hand side or the left hand side. But like I said, I personally like it to be a little bit more natural looking, so I'm going to make sure that it stays towards the yellows. The vignette is also a personal choice. I like to subtly add a little bit of a vignette to make sure that you focus on the center of the image. You are also more than welcome to bring it to the left as far as you want, but I think adding a little bit of a vignette makes sure that the viewer is looking at the photo and looking directly into the center. There's a couple masks that I did here. I did a very subtle one on her eyes just to make sure that her eyes pop a little bit more since it is a little bit dark and her eyes are very beautiful, so I want to make sure that I want to enhance that. You can also do a little bit of skin retouching. Just make sure that you grab a brush and just brush over her skin. You can add a little bit of exposure as well as reducing the clarity and the sharpness just to add a little bit of a skin touch just out of Lightroom. You are more than welcome to add some extra brushes over her skin. Just focus on the main points like the T-zone, but making sure that you don't do any defining nostrils or anything that really is a focal point of a face. So any eyebrows, any eyes, or any lips, make sure that you don't draw over those. Just only the parts of the skin that you want to be retouched. Lastly, the last mask that I have is to do her center of her face, and I inversed it to make sure that it's the opposite. So everything other than the face, we're going to brighten up just a little bit because it is a golden hour photo shoot and you want to make sure that you get a little bit of that sun popping out of there. You can also add the temperature if you'd like, but the only thing that I wanted to really boost from there was the exposure. So this is the final result. When you are taking photos at a forest preserve, please be mindful of others. You are going to witness other people that are going to want to enjoy the amazing fall weather. So that could be runners, walkers, or bikers. And if you are on the bike path, just make sure that you step out of the way when you see them coming, or grab any equipment that you have that might be obstructing the trail. That way you're being as respectful as possible, and you can also make sure that everyone else enjoys the weather as well. My biggest suggestion when doing a fall photo shoot is to do it during golden hour, or honestly as much daylight as you can to get in the photo. I personally like the golden hour photo shoot simply because not only will the leaves be backlit, but the model will be as well. So as you see in this shot, you can see that she is backlit, and that is causing some halo around her hair, which gives a more angelic look and feel. And I personally like the way that this looks, but my biggest suggestion is to get all that daylight in so you can actually see the leaves. The last suggestion that I have for you guys is don't be afraid to show the model the pose that you have in mind. I personally, when I like to do more feminine type poses, is like to create an S-curve with their body. And what I mean by that is that their bottom half, which is their legs and their hips, will be posed in one direction, and then their chest and their arms will be posed in another, which would create an S-curve. And sometimes that's a little bit hard to explain in person, so I usually like to demonstrate, and that way the model is able to completely understand what I'm talking about. But that is the end of this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification button to get notified every single time I post a new video. If you're interested in more videos just like this, I have a playlist created going over all of my Lightroom edits. But that concludes the end of this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.